You tune in Thursdays at 11 a.m. and don't forget to catch the replay on Saturday at 7 a.m. only on KAKU 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui. Love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Yay!
This is my song, and no one can take it away. It's been so long, but now you're here to stay. And I wonder if you know what it means to find your dreams come true. This is my song.
Sorry about that, guys. How they, I don't know what just happened, but we'll try to fix it in a second. There we go.
And no one can make it alive. It's been so long since someone could make me cry. And I wonder if you know what it means to laugh as tears go by. I may not always sing in tune, and sometimes you don't hear me, but you don't have to be near me to know that I'm singing. This is my song, and nothing can make it die. It's been so long, and it's stronger. I know why, and I wonder if you really, really know that as long as I live, I will sing my song for you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eman'on Wanderer here. You're listening to 88.5 FM, the voice of Maui. This is Pure Awareness. I'm just really excited this morning to be greeting you all and be here and welcome you into this new moment. Let me just start with this, man. If you're living here on Maui and you were up around, let's see, 5:30-ishness this morning, and you saw that amazing sunrise, that the shades of pink, like I can't even describe it. I cannot describe in detail what the sunrise looked like this morning in Maui. And I was in Kahului, so it was just, yeah, can't describe it. So, but if you were able to catch it, man, something that arose in me that I realized was, why can't this be my heaven on earth? Because if I was to define my most perfect place to just, retire my essence, transcend into, ascend into, dissolve into, it would literally look like what I saw this morning. So I don't know, I just kind of was playing a little game where it's like, I'm gonna make this today is heaven on earth for me. This is like the best day ever. This is the first day ever, which makes it the best day ever in my life. So I mean, why can't I do that? And since no one was there to like refute me or just to say, no, you can't think that way, because I've already I've already written down that road and lived that life of restricting and limiting, that which I thought I could be and do and have. And you know how they say, like, when in Rome, do as Romans do. So it's kind of like that for me. It was like I was Rome in life. Yeah, I was in roaming life. And I subscribe to the systems and to the rules and to the laws, because that's what I do as a researcher and as a student. As a creator, I want to learn, right? I want to learn my environment. I want to learn my product so that I can develop it and design it, enhance it, and be able to just make it something that is win-win. Something that lights up my heart and something that lights up the heart of the world. So I realized patience and in my process, my creative process, truly redefined how, I look at life and how I do life now. Because at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, I realized it really was what mattered to me, and what really mattered was what was bringing my heart joy. And thankfully, I have some amazing beings in my life that help guide me and teach me through these experiences, and learning to just see every moment and every interaction with each being I have it's always all good. It's like their very best. Because funny, I just realized that my best friend growing up, still my best friend. It's like, you don't stop being my best friend because we ain't growing up no more. I guess we're still technically growing up, so we're still technically best friends. Anyway, sorry, Eman'on. So anyway, yeah, my best friend Alex Woods, aka P World. We used to his mom's name is Denise Williams, and I just made that connection. Like, man, I wonder why I never asked her, him. Is like, is your mom the Denise Williams that sings the Anyway, I was just wonderfully reminded by Brother Tony Midnight. I don't know why I feel like I gotta say his name like that, because it's just such a Brother Tony Midnight. You're listening to the local show, Brother Tony, and it's not even like a midnight show. It's like 1 p.m. You don't even like have that. That's not even like a 1 p.m. afternoon voice. Anyway, Tony came in here and reminded me, man, this is Mental Health Awareness Month, man, and me being, mental health advocate for, close to 20 years, some odd years. I don't care, man. I say my age. I ain't gonna say it, but I ain't scared to say it. But it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think I'll be honest, man, because I've been doing that work so long, and seeing just like the different like developments and things that came, the approaches and modalities that have been orchestrated and designed to, I guess, rehabilitate and help, humanity, and help those who are challenged with mental health issues. I want to say this: it was a beautiful and is a great foundation. And what I'm talking about is all the approaches and the practices and techniques and things that we apply as for treatment. I'm talking with things that are sometimes things are coexisting, right? So you have to solve them with you have co-occurring disorders, so you have to resolve them sometimes with medication and also sometimes with other solutions. So my whole point is, I'm not mad at what was established and what was created to get humanity to where it's at now in terms of healing. However, I am here to introduce and address the fact that the way that was established is not the only way we have to continue, right? As we go, we grow. So we are transcending. Therefore, the transcendental mental health approach and that framework that, I that's what I titled it. It's probably something else. I don't care about the credit or stuff. But when I was getting my bachelor's, man, I was just like, it was just something about knowing there's another way that I can care for myself and I can care for others and others can care for themselves. So like, why does it always have to be in such a formula? And I just explored and, through my journey of life and self-care and just learning and applying and all these practices and going within and just really asking, whatever was existing within me, what's the best case scenario and solution for what's happening within this framework? Because obviously the things that are out there, you know, they weren't lasting for me. That's what I should say. And anything that's not lasting is temporal. So therefore, I want the thing that's going to be permanent. What's the permanent thing that's going to help me move through any situation, any circumstance? I don't want just the thing that's going to help me move through this moment of severe pain in my head, you know? I want to teach me how to fish so that I can eat all the time and when I want. I don't want to just, don't give me the fish so I got to eat it right now. So nobody want to cold fish. Cold fish? No, codfish. No, cod is a fish, but cold. Never mind. Yeah, so happy Mental Health Awareness Month. I'm excited, man, because, you know, I got my book, Identically Different, that's available online and on Amazon and my website and stuff. So, and that's, you know, I'm a mental health advocate fiend, man, on like, I want the best of the best that's going to help you get the best rest, you know, out of your deep rest, aka depression, because that's what I was, you know, I'm finally titling it, or giving over to the title of what it was I was experiencing, because I don't like titles. I mean, my name is Eman'on, and you read that backwards, there's no name. There's no framework with me. There's just, you know, why can't it be what needs to happen to keep this thing happy? So I just want to throw that out there, and I hope you caught it. Because on that note, I want to say something to our to my generation, Gen Xers. I honestly think we're living in the greatest moment of our lives. Because like the Denise Williams song says, you know, I just want to be free. And I feel like for me, growing up and the data that I've collected by interacting and meeting people and just having these just very, very close connections and conversations and just experiences about like what it's like now for us, you know, what it's like for the 80s babies, like now. It's what I've come to understand is that we felt really restricted. You know, there was so much that I feel like our generation was wanting to bring to the table and to advance. And instead of looking at it like we were, you know, they're picking on us and they're not letting us do what we want to do, so we rebelled, which is another beautiful way of creating, right? Art, you know, sometimes we got to rebel. But I think that if there was an opportunity, or if there was something out there that was modeling how we can alter our perspective about what our previous generation was trying to teach us, I think that would have been useful. And what I'm saying is that if we could have looked at it where it's like, okay, they're helping us see the framework of what was, it does not mean that we are trapped by it. And I think that's the piece that wasn't available, because guess what? The previous generation, the baby boomers, they weren't equipped with that information, you know? And then we can just date back in time. And all I'm saying is, like, guess what? If we could really go back and look at the whole course of time and what's happened and all the advancements we've done in technology and in mental health and just in humanity, I think we've all been doing the best we can. Be honest with you. Yeah. I think we're all doing wonderful. And this is me tying it with my generation, Gen Xers, because guess what, guys? We're like the ones that are going to be the uncles and the aunties and the elders and the pastors and the community activists, the rock stars. Like, it's us now. It's us now. You feel me? Like, it doesn't mean we can't be in love with what was and what helped create us to be us now. But now this is the time we get to design a reality that co-creates a context of safety and freedom. You know, of course it's for our youth, but guess what? They're not going to be able to benefit from the goodiness that we put out there if we don't even put out the goodiness that's in our hearts. if we're just continuing to reshape and redesign what was, you know what I mean? So there's always going to be opportunity to go get a 9-to-5 and have that discipline and that way and that approach of, sustaining yourself. And also keep this in mind. There's a slew of information out there and experiences and examples of people who went another way and created their own flow of life. It's this whole thing. Just allow people to just be themselves and express, There's not one way to do everything. We're not all designed the same way, I've been in several relationships, and I can say, I will say this, when I was young, I honestly thought it was just like making love to a woman one way and she enjoyed it, and it was like, oh, I'm gonna do that the same way every time. And that I quickly found out that doesn't work. So I had to adjust. I had to connect with what was in front of me, who was in front of me. And that's even deeper, because you got to connect with who's the who that is observing. And that was me. I had to really look at who I was. And that just, all it's all in like all the stuff that I'm about. You go to my website and Google my name, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't really want to do a commercial or nothing, but I guess I'm learning to be comfortable talking about, I'm learning to be comfortable with the fact that I realize I do add value to humanity, and I realize that my voice is powerful, and all I have to do is say something. I don't have to be connected to the outcome of what I want that something to do. All I have to do is know what I want to say and say it. And that is very, very, very tender and vulnerable for me, because it's connected to a very, very deep place. When I was a child and tried to say something as I was in a state of panic and pain, and was denied. It was rejection. I couldn't even get out what was happening. It was just a no. So that, I carried that story, that scar, and that's what it looked like all through my life when if someone was to raise their voice, or if someone was to, like, even if I had an idea to approach and try something. That's why I never really approached, like, talking to girls. I was really shy. That's why I really never really put out how talented I was as far as, like, wanting to do music and other sports and stuff like that, because I was shy. I was like, I don't want to get rejected like I did as a child. So yeah, man, all this stuff is deeply connected, man. And I love that we get an opportunity to celebrate we get to have a month to, talk about, have the conversation, and allow people the opportunity to share. How about we do that? How about we just extend grace for those who just want to share what they've been experiencing in life and where they are now, and without any judgment, without any unwarranted ideas or solutions, just, let them share. Maybe I might do something like that. Maybe if y'all, I'm gonna see if I can set something up where it could be an opportunity for people to just share without any judgment. But anyway, this is the life that I want to live, and I'll be back right after this song, or maybe before, because I just spilled my water and Tony's in the back of me and I'm scared, so I'll be back. Correction, you just wanted chips.
I wanna get on my bike and ride that red dirt road from the cane fields to the shore. I wanna skip stones with my cousins as the ahi skim the ocean floor. And as the sun goes down and the moon goes up, I can see the stars. As we sit by that fire beneath our shack and jam our guitars. This is the life I was given. This is the life I love country living. This is the life meant for me and you. So I hope you get
give it to do. I'm gonna live my life. I really do hope you get to live your life for real. Like you are living it. It's just how you're living it. I think that's what I'm talking about. How are you living your life? Who are you living your life? Who's living your life? How and who? Who and how? Same 3 letters, just different words. How? Who? Good thing I brushed my teeth this morning. I don't know what else to say. But anyway, I wanted to piggyback also on the mental health month dealio real quick, because I just had like how do I even like say this? I don't even know. I just had like a great email this morning come through, and this is me dancing around what I want to say because of the unknown that it may generate, the emotions. So I'm just living out loud my treatment plan and my process, because it hasn't been modeled, in my time, and maybe it could be beneficial to you guys. So I'm dancing around, and what I'm trying to say is that I'm really proud of myself for what I have, what I'm seeing in my life, and knowing where it came from, as far as me just trusting the guidance of my heart. Really, what it comes down to, it was the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life, and I think it started when I was around 7 years old. But to bring it more forward, it started, in 2017 when I went through my second divorce and had to learn how to navigate being a distant dad who was, dealing with depression, and, still have this dream of like wanting to be the best version of myself so that I can model that for my son and future children. And it was like, I felt like it was ripped. It was like, no, you don't get to do that now. And I had to create something else, create a whole nother way. And I did something that the data and the research, says that men rarely do, which is ask for help. And I did that, and I reached out, I Googled, I was like, I need to get some help, some therapy or something. And because I'm a mental health practitioner as well, I was very detailed. I was very like clear on what kind of help I needed. I was very clear. I was like, hey, I'm a guy that's really good at just not speaking up for himself, and just trusting myself. So it'll be easy for me to, because I don't like conflict, it'll be easy for me to like not be truthful in a therapeutic session. I guess, it's something in that in ballpark. So I was like, I know I'm pretty good at like, I'll just say yes. I'll be the yes man, because that's what I was great at doing, playing second fiddle. And so, but this time I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And I'm like around, let me see. Yeah. So anyway, oh no, I blanked out for a second thinking about something. So I reached out. I was like, man, let me reach out for some help, and Googled and was like, counselor, therapist, men's group, this and that. And so I could not find anything that was more flexible, outside of a religious group, a religious group, or a rehabilitation group, like a 12-step program or a recovery program. It was like I wasn't looking for that. I've already seen that process, and I just never felt the authenticity and the connection that I needed. So, and I couldn't find it, and that forced me to just go within, because I grew up spiritual, so I knew like, well, there's a higher purpose for all this happening, and let me just ask that higher, place or wherever. And it was like, what do I do? And it was like trust. And right when I heard trust, like trust yourself, trust, be guided by your heart, go within, live in the now, trust your intuition. It was like this is all the stuff I've been hearing all in my head all my life. And it just got quieter and quieter. Long story short, my journey, it helped me create a flow that helps my life be more easeful and more flexible and free and safe and just clear. And it starts with me just sharing and saying something and just telling my story. That's all it takes. It just took just telling my story. However, like all the processes that had to happen for that had to happen, you know. So I learned patience and learned how to be graceful towards my process, like towards the experiences, towards the journey, and to not say, man, thus them did this to me and it's bad man, I didn't know, sorry. It was like, oh, well, if I knew that this is who I would have been because of what was happening, then I think I would have been okay. You know, it's like that thing, like I had a few jobs, right? And it was a few jobs I did not like doing. I'm not even gonna lie. It's like I ain't going to this job as I'm going to that job. And I'm like, man, I ain't doing this. I hate this job. And I'm sitting there doing the job. And then it's like, man, I'm only doing this job because I know I'm getting paid. But the fact is that I did the job. And even though that reward was, you know, it wasn't like adding value to humanity or nothing. It was just, it was the fact that I had a reward, something coming back helped me get through. Does that make sense? So what I was getting to helped me get through. There it is. That thing I was working for, you know. So if I'd have known that what I was going to, i.e. what I was going to be, i.e. what I am now, then so what I was going to means that my entire life prior to now was what I was going through, and it made it worth it. So take that, sucker ducker. That's what I be doing. I be sucker ducking, man. No, I didn't say suck a duck. Come on, it's a family show, guys. I guess that's bringing me to my now next new segment, which is explaining the the 209 terminology in the 90s growing up in Stockton, California. Sucker ducking. All right? Sucker ducking, man. It means that you do anything necessary to avoid a sucker. And sometimes you got to duck that sucker. Sometimes you got to stay out of certain environments that you are familiar with and that you are drawn towards. But because you know that sucker's over there, you don't even want to, and you know what I mean? You don't even want to mesh with that energy. So that was ultimately what I'm saying is like, that was the hood version of saying like avoiding negative environments, guys. It's the same thing. See what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, man, you gotta be sucker ducking. But now we understand what the brother is saying when he says that, or when you hear it in my song, you already know. Like sucker ducker, hater skating till I'm pout-ish. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. It's just all I'm doing is just avoiding that which isn't gonna light my heart up. That's all. Ain't gotta be scared. I said all that to say this, I think. I want to talk about this company that I happened upon called At the Roots LLC, and ultimately what they do, because I can't give a call to action, I can't tell you guys to go to their website or anything. You know, I can't tell you to Google At the Roots LLC in Wisconsin and see what they do. But what I will tell you is that this is the kind of resources I want to spread into the communities that I'm a part of, as far as like when you're having a mental health crisis, or when you've discovered that there's a disorder or illness or an issue that you've been suffering with all your life, like, and you know that you don't want everybody in your business, basically, and you can't tell everybody your business, even sometimes not even your loved ones. So it's like I like to find these resources that have a context of safety. That's really important for me. Safety and freedom. Like it doesn't make sense to feel safe in my home because we've locked the doors and windows and got live in a gated community and I don't have all those things. I used to, and I used to desire them, and I got them, and they're great, for those who live in the mentality in the world of unsafeness. But anyway, safety, right? But so what difference does it make? Like, it didn't make any sense to feel safe because of all this security and protection I had at home when I wasn't free at home. Feel me? So safety and freedom, that's a huge deal for me, and I don't want to tell anybody to, I wouldn't suggest anything that I haven't proven for me. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe in saying, hey, man, this is what you need to do to get through what we did. Nah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to you and support you. And if you were to ask, hey, Eman'on, what do you suggest? What do you recommend? I would say, this is what I did in a similar situation as yours. So I just give you my story. And I was taught this. I remember this a long time ago. Pastor said to me that, an answer, he said a question is an answer in seed form. So you already know the answer. Whatever the question you're asking, the answer is within that question. So, yeah. So with At the Roots, man, I happened upon them because I wanted to, making sure my resources and my directories and things are in proper places for those of you who are reaching out to me and saying, man, I need help with this and that and the third. And I'm like, yeah, I got you. But Uncle Eman'on is getting to the point where I'm trying to just chill and create and write these stories and create these educational films for the community and get these, it's other things I want to do. So I don't have a lot of energy to be direct service guy anymore. And that, that used to break my heart because I'm such I love hands-on, man, because hands-on in the community and what I'm saying. I'm not just going to say, oh, you have an issue and point you in that direction. That's what I got all my life. It's like, yeah, go over there. You should do this. You should do this. But what I'm really asking is, I need help right now. Can you help me? Like, what can, But anyway, I can't give you something that I haven't learned or I haven't experienced. So I love when I come across resources that can help communities and help individuals live a better life, a greater life, and it's person-centered, It's not personal. It's person-centered. So that means it just focuses on that individual. And I think At the Roots LLC did that. So what I did, right, I was like, I put their resources and information on my website. And then I started looking more into what they do. And I was like, this is the stuff they do, these trainings, right, for the community to have them help, communication basically within generations, within government, state, church, just communication, right? Safety in the communication context. And that's something that I'm a real big fan of. So I said, instead of me recreating the program to do here on Maui, and why don't I just try to link up with people who are already doing it, and just really activate this magic of collaboration and teamwork and ohana-ness. Yeah, that's the word now. Ohana-ness, family. It's just closeness, man. I'm just no BS. You know what I mean? How can we help each other? I like you, you like me. Let's see what happens. That's where I'm at. So anyway, I felt like this is one of those man, I like these guys or gals or thems or theys. I like At the Roots LLC. And so I was so nervous. I emailed him. Yep. I emailed him. And in that email, I was just basically saying, hi, I like you. I hope you like me because this is who I am. And if you like me, check, instead of saying check yes or no, just, reply or whatever. I don't even think I said that. But anyway, I'm thinking in my mind, I am just who am I, right? And some of y'all know my story here as far as being, in the house, displaced and houseless for the last, almost going on, back over 2 years, basically. and been in my van and Jeep and just finding places to make it happen, because I really believed in this, in my mission, and I really believe in my dream of helping men heal, meaning helping men find greater ways and more authentic ways and safe ways to communicate what's happening within us, because the imposter syndrome is so real. And I see so many wonderful men, fathers, grandpas, like ready to just burst because we just never was able to have a true conversation. So anyway, that's been my mission, man, and always. And so I'm just thinking, like, who am I, right? I'm trying to do a little bit something. And so I reached out to them. They had this training, and I was like, man, I'm gonna just act on faith. I'm gonna write them. I'm gonna say, hey, I want to go to this training. I don't know nobody in Wisconsin. I got to go to Wisconsin and attend a training for 2 weeks, but I think it's valuable information. So I wrote them. I was like, how can we make this work? How can it be win-win? And man, they wrote me back. I was like, let me get some water real quick. Y'all listen to this song real quick. Let me get some water. So perfect. All things work out 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 so perfect. Hey, hey, hey. Perfect. Hey, work out so perfect. All things 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 work out so perfect. So anyway, they wrote me back, man. You know what I'm saying? I gotta talk like this now that I'm on this fat track. You know what I'm saying? This fat track. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm channeling the homie Golden Juan right now. Yeah, man. It's fat track. Y'all don't even know though. Shout out Golden, bro. So anyway, they wrote me back. And well, I'm gonna click on it right now. Should I just read it to y'all? Oh, I'm nervous. Okay. I'm going to read the email, and then I'm going to tell you why this was such a... I don't know. I'll tell you why it just made an impact on me after I had my conversation. I had a conversation with my good friend Nina this morning and about this, because she was with me when I was like trying to, stressing and trying to figure stuff out, the growing pains. And so I was excited and had to read it too, and her response was absolutely perfect, because all things work out so perfect. That's why it was perfect. So anyway, it says, hello, Eman'on. I have to say, wait, hold on. I think I feel like I want to do it in a very, very... feel like this email deserves a special kind of music, maybe. Let's see. I like jazz. We got some jazz. Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. Ooh, Horizon. That sounds like a good one. Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. I like that. Okay, so as I was saying, I got this email response from At The Roots LLC. Shout out Renee Sommer. Appreciate that. And I've been stalling replying because it's like it just lit me up so much, and I didn't want to rush the response. I didn't want to, do the whole thing that I normally do, which is not take the moment in and celebrate myself and be proud of myself for that moment, just to really just take just that in, just the fact that wow, this is a huge accomplishment that somebody would reply, some other organization somewhere across the land would reply to me. And so I was just like, let me appreciate that, because most of my journey has been, I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel seen. I don't feel heard. And I feel like this response made me feel seen and heard. And I want to remind you that this is Mental Health Awareness Month. So those of you who are aware of your mental state, I want you to try that on for size, and try on this like perspective of like, am I this way? Am I feeling this way because I really want to be seen and heard? Am I behaving this way because I really want to be seen and heard? And if so, how's that working for me? So there's that. Let me read this email. Hello, Eman'on. I have to say, my mind is a bit blown by your registration message, and I have a lot of questions. Now, right there, I was triggered. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, when I read that sentence, and I have a lot of questions, I was like, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. And I was like, I don't want to read the rest of, like, all these thoughts, like, just that fast, I went back 20, 30 years in my life and was like, I'm in trouble. I haven't connected the dots about, the questions, but I was like, man, I don't even want to continue reading this. But then I was like, no, that was fun. Thank you for that journey. And I didn't get mad at myself. I allowed myself to be scared. I allowed that part of me, that young boy, to just, be afraid. He was scared because there was some part of me at some point in my life was like, somebody sat me down and was like, hey, I got to talk to you. I got some questions. And it's like, I'm in trouble. And maybe I did get, I don't know. So I was like, I'm done. But I allowed myself to continue. Next sentence. I've read through your websites and socials. Then I'm like, okay, right there, right? I was like, this is interesting. Because all the fear and all the doubt and insecure, everything went away instantly when I read that sentence. She said, I read through your websites and socials. And I'm going to tell you why that freed me. Because for the first time in my life, like I was saying earlier, Eman'on, all you gotta do is say something. Say your truth. You don't have to be afraid to speak. You're not in trouble. Just speak. Just speak. That's the therapy. That was my approach. That was my therapy. Just speak. And it started way back in time in 1900 in MySpace times. Yeah, whenever MySpace came out. That's when I started speaking. And I can say that the things that I posted and post now, even if you go now, it's like it's always been connected to the same theme of gotta believe in yourself, self-love. Just there's more out there. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Like I've always said that because it was like I'm too scared. There's either I'm too scared to say it to the person in front of me and those around me physically, tangibly. So there's that part, and then it's the part of like, well, since no one knows me, and I mean this is digital world, and I can create, a false reality, and I can create a false character. I didn't know that. I actually didn't know early on people was creating fake profiles, man. Like I didn't know people was living like that. I thought MySpace really was like, no, you finally get your space, bro. And in my space, literally my space, I want to feel free and safe, right? All the things that light me up, so I made my space like my real space. So I'm posting like real ish on there, like, new music that I'm doing, and like it was just ridiculous. Long story short, I stand by my brand. I stand by what I've said the last 10, 20, 30 years. So when she said, I read through your websites and socials, I was like, oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, okay. I'm from a place where you can't just talk about what you are and not live it out. You got to be proven. Like if you're saying you are, an educator and you're a community activist, and we don't see you in these streets activating these streets in another way, then it is what it is. So I read through your websites and socials, and I was like, man, cool. She said, your mission is an important one. And what you've shared in your story is very interesting. Ooh. How did you hear about this training? We're so local in such a small organization that I'm honestly dumbfounded at how someone in Hawaii or Vai has even heard of us. Y'all hear that? Do I need to read it again with the same emphasis? Because I don't want to. I'm going to just get straight to the point. The essence of why that whole phrase, all those two sentences, the essence of it, the reason why it impacted me so much is because if you follow me, if you know my story, that's exactly how I feel. Like who am I? How is it that, how can I make an impact on someone way out there in the itty bitty cracks and corners of the world? Like, who am I to do that? But because I've had experiences with that, because I've had young men that I've mentored when they were kids and now playing professional football, and when they were, pledging in my fraternity, and I had them write out who they wanted to be in 5 years. We were only talking 5 years. We're only talking 5 years. I was like, man, it was a line that was pledging in California. What's the name of the school? Anyway, it was football players. I had them, write out who they wanted to be and what they wanted to be doing 5 years from now, and they did that. And guess what? 3 of them, one of them, I'm gonna just put his name out there, Richard Sherman, right? If you guys follow football, Richard Sherman was online. I pledged him. I helped pledge. Went up there, and if you know fraternity stuff, you know all that world. But anyway, I remember him writing on there, I want to be one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. And do you know, well, if you follow football, Richard Sherman, Google him. And that's who I'm talking about. So I had those moments in my life. So I was like, how is it that, but because I've had those moments, I was like, yes, it is possible. But I still don't, I still never had the belief in me to have that impact. But anyway, how did you hear about this training? As I said, I think they got a dope training for the communities, and I want to duplicate that. I want to bring that back to my community so we can start talking to each other and feel safe. How did you hear about this training? We're so local and such a small organization. Yeah, I get it, sis. I get it. I feel like I'm such a small, whatever, that I'm honestly dumbfounded at how someone in Hawaii has even heard of us. Are you coming up here specifically for this training? Or is this part of a longer experience you're having here? I'll be honest and say, I don't know what we can do, but I'm happy to help figure this out. Even if there's nothing I can specifically do, I can always help you find resources here locally, bro. So this is why I'm taking my time to reply, heartfully to Renee Sommer and those co-owner and director over at the Roots LLC. So anyway, man, I didn't realize that was going to take up a lot of my time, man, because it was, I don't know, I just thought that was beautiful, and that's just another remarkable example of how we Gen Xers, this is what we bring to the table, y'all. Like, we really do bring collaboration and the energy of trust, and because we know what it feels like to not be able to say something, to not be able to be free, all we know, Papa don't preach, please, Papa don't preach. Thank you, Madonna. Man, y'all just stop preaching. That's all we wanted. Just give us a moment. And now we have that moment, so let's, I'm supporting us honoring it and getting as much tools that'll help us be more authentic, so these babies can, be who they is, because they're going to be it anyway. Because Because there are some of us that's doing the work, you know, that's doing the heart work. And when you do the heart work, it swells around, you know, and it swirls around. But doing the things that make your heart swell is just, it's a beautiful thing. And, you know, my friend, dear love, sweet friend Yessie is, you know, just got news this week. She's been, you know, if you know her story and her practice of being a midwife and how just valuable that is. I ain't gonna talk about just how valuable, not even as a practice, but just the value in knowing that there are women, there's a group of individuals who have committed themselves to help other women usher in life in a caring, safe way. Like, just that alone. So anyway, but there was there was things that was happening in her life. It created some, you know, some stressors, and she worried about her, you know, her practice, man. And just to see her go through that experience in a healthy way, to allow herself to just be human and express and have those moments of like WTFness, but still with the higher knowing of like, all things work out so perfect. All things work out so perfect. All things work out so perfect, right? And I just want to give her a shout out right now, because I know that you that email you told, you know, you text me and let me know that that decision, and I know what it took for you to make that decision, you know, only so that you can continue to be of value to humanity. And not just humanity, but it was the thing that you did and made your own, because it lit you up. And it was a heart decision, and I honor you. I love you. Thank you. And I appreciate everything that you are doing. And all my training, we ain't done, you know, because I think there's space for the men also to have some help, you know, in that time when you're giving birth, if you guys decide to do a home birth. So anyway, y'all, I just appreciate everybody tuning in, man. This was a great show. I don't know. It's always a great show in my eyes. But I love you. Ain't nothing you could do about it except support your boy, because your boy supports you. Eman'on Wanderer. You know the rest. Be blessed. I holla.
Akaku Upstairs, elevating community and conversation. Every third Thursday, May 16th, we welcome producer Manu Bouvet of the film The Green Wave. After the film screening, he will be joined by Love the Sea founder Campbell Farrell and Pomakai Grozier from the Living Pono Project. Learn about these impactful programs and how Manu's family has taken the kuleana of education and service. 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Register at allkaku.org.
Maui's free speech station. KAKU 88.5 FM, Kahului, Maui. The voice of Maui.